Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a city I visited a long time ago, Venice. This came out on eTurbo News, October 29th, 2018. Three quarters, 75% of Venice is underwater in worst flooding since 2008. 75% of that city is underwater. Yeah, the streets are water, but not the whole thing. You can walk through that city, and they have a square where the castles are and a shopping mall and a bunch of shops and stores and restaurants and all kinds of places all through that city. Water levels in Venice rose to more than 5 feet, with residents and tourists wading their way through flooded areas. And as you can see, this is a restaurant, and look at the tables. They are literally sitting in the water at this little place where you just sit down. These actually are castles here. And this is like a little picnic area. I was in this square, this exact square, and I went into every single castle in the square. I got my old pictures. I got to go dig them up. But yeah, this is the square. There's 3 castles there. And then over here is a shopping mall. And then they have this big tower that you can go in and you can look down on all of Venice. And I went into it. The tower is right here, this long tower. We went up in this tower and we were able to look out and see all of Venice around there. And the castles are beautiful. The ceilings on the castles are loaded with gold, a lot of gold ceilings and paintings. It's really beautiful when you go in there. They did do a good job in keeping them halfway decent, for tourist purposes. The city's iconic pizzerias and everything is covered in water. And usually the square is loaded with pigeons. In fact, one of them flew on my head in the square. And that was kind of funny. So 3/4 of the city is submerged following a storm system that brought strong winds, rose water levels, and toppled trees. The peak level of the water on Monday was the highest reached since December 2008, according to city statistics. The water level even exceeded raised walkways in the city, which are made for flooded areas, so even they failed, prompting the removal. Most of Venice's famous water bus systems are also closed down. Speaking on Monday, Venice Mayor Luigi Brugnaro said a series of underwater barriers would have prevented the rising water levels. Well, it looked like everything is failing. And one thing I can tell you, the water is gross in Venice because they can't get the water out. That water in there is pretty much stuck in that city. And when you go in there, the water is green and murky. It's green and murky. This water is green. And I'm not talking about a little tinge of green. I mean bright green water because it's badly polluted. And it's not like you can flush the water out of there. You can't. That same water has been sitting in there for centuries. I mean, that's how bad it is. And on a really warm, hot day, when you're in that city, the water even has an odor. It stinks. So, all right. So let me get back to this. That project is dubbed Moses. Has been long delayed. The cost overruns and corruption scandals to blame. Brugnaro said he had spoken to Premier Giuseppe Conte to stress the urgency of the Moses Project, which would raise barriers when the tide reaches 109 centimeters, which is 43 inches. That happens 4 times a year in Venice on average. Much of Italy is under flooding alerts following heavy rains on Sunday and Monday, with high winds and toppled trees landing to at least 5 deaths. So, wow, that's crazy. 75% of the city is underwater. And where those people are, there's all kinds of footpaths in there that you can walk along, walking down the street. The other streets, you have to get into a canoe, or the taxis, which are boats in Venice. You have to get in those boats to go in other parts if you need to. But it's strange when you get in there to see how people live. You know how you go out your front door and maybe you have to go to the street or go to your driveway to get into your car. Well, in Venice, your boat is right up to your door. So as soon as you open your front door, you step into your boat. That's how it is there. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I will see you on the next video. I did this story because it kind of reminded me of the island, East Island over in Hawaii, that's now underwater because of a hurricane. I tell you, it's so many things happening in this world now. It's like you can hardly keep up. Peace, family.